Hi there, Jen here. Today I'm just going to run through my version of clean flanks versus the term square flanks. So, what are flanks is kind of the one big question, and flanks really are a change of direction for your stock. So, we're going to pretend that these sheep here have a flight zone that's basically like this. Okay, so there's my flight zone around these sheep. So what the flight zone in is, of course, is that bubble that if the animal or yourself, for instance, comes in and pokes that bubble, it will move the sheep this way if I happen to punch the bubble there. Or if the opposite happens, I don't come into the bubble. So say I am out there or the dog is out there, then the sheep will probably stay where they're at, or they can even feel comfortable to come towards you. Okay, so that's what the flight zone is talking about. Now, the flanks, the big thing that I think many people get confused with the flanks is most of the dogs tend to not flank cleanly. So, what this means is when I say clean, if the dog is right here, so there's my dog, okay, and if I give an away flank, cleanly would mean that the dog travels basically on the flight zone. Okay, they need to be on it because the flank is changing direction of your stock. If the dog is not clean and slices the flank, they might come in this way. So if they're inside that bubble, it will force the sheep to move prematurely or move the wrong direction. Okay? The same can also happen if your dog flanks. This is where the term square sometimes comes in. Flanks too square so that they are giving ground. So they might flank like this, so too wide. So in that case, the sheep will once again be free to come into this spot. They won't be affected by the dog, or they might just stand there. So the term I like to use the term clean flank. So whenever I'm doing basic balance work with my dogs, and every single time they go to change direction, I'll be wanting them to change on their haunches, on their hind end, and continue on that flight zone until, say, for instance, I tell them down, we start here, stop here, and then I might ask them to walk in to drive the sheep off. So the flank is used to change the direction of the stock. If I had a gate over here, so there's my gate, and if I wanted to put the sheep through the gate and tell the dog to do that, if my dog gave me a clean flank and stopped appropriately, I asked them to walk up, then as the dog changed flanks, it didn't influence the sheep in that until the dog went to walk up. So then the sheep would be free to move. The dog might have to cover a bit more, but you get the idea. They can move in through the gate. If though my dog did not flank cleanly, so it sliced to begin here, and then let's just say this dog slices the first few steps of the flank and then kind of kicks out. You can see how the dog has already influenced the bubble or influenced the flight zone. So right here, the dog, by this pressure, it might be something as simple as the dog's shoulder coming in or leaning in for a couple steps, sometimes even one step. This will affect the sheep and they're going to feel that pressure because it's too soon and move off to a direction you don't want. So even if the first turn as a dog, the first step is very, very important. So this is where you do various things like corner work and work on always establishing clean movement in your dogs. So I hope this helps.